Hey guys, what's up? I am here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of僕のヒーローアカデミアSeason 4, or you could call it My Hero Academia Season 4 on Episode 4, or in total number, Episode 67. This episode right here, wow dude, the tension in this episode along with what happened towards that ending was actually done well. I mean, like from a manga reader's perspective in terms of adaptation, super well done. So if anything else, let's just get this started. Right here, right away. We had to it that Deku and Lemillion, or should I say Mirio, are on like a patrol. Of course, Mirio's name is Lemillion, so I think it's much more easier to remember that one. But we see to it that they end up bumping into a girl, and her name will be revealed later to be called Eri. Eri, like E-R-I, pretty much simple like that. But apparently the man that they've been looking for, but at the same time they had to keep it in the down low or low ground or something, is Chisaki himself. We see to it that Eri-chan is very scared. Like, she was clinging on to Deku and she says, please don't go, please don't go. And Midoriya is supposed to stop with the suspicions, you know? Night Eye told Mirio, or I should say Lemillion and Deku, not to put anything off to a point that we're suspecting you. Otherwise, all will be for naught. And this gets really dangerous from here on out, because we all know how dangerous Chisaki is. I mean, we saw what his ability can do, and guess what? I mean, blood splattered everywhere for one person, and etc. We see to it that Chisaki's playing off the goody parent routine kind of thing, but Midoriya or Deku is kind of pressuring the situation of asking these questions. And of course, Lemillion's, I think, in his mind, dude, shut your mouth, man. Well, not in a way of like being impolite, but he's telling Midoriya in his mind, like, don't put any extra suspicion, man. This is really, really bad right now. Especially that we meet up with this guy. And we see to it that after much back to forth wording or little small time arguments, we see to it that Chisaki was willing to talk to them in a certain way that's not out in public, which is dangerous because, you know, I mean, the guy, and it looked like to me Chisaki was about to go into kill mode. I mean, he was about to take off his glove, and Eri's like, okay, I'm going. Not to a point of saying it verbally out loud, but she says, okay, I'll go, kind of thing. And we see to it that that she decides to go, and we see, and of course, Night Eye, along with like a Bubble Girl, which I think it's Bubble Girl, I don't know. Anyways, they end up being contacted by Lemillion or Mirio, and they end up telling Night Eye everything. Of course, Night Eye does warn Deku or Midoriya not to get ahead of himself about saving people, because sometimes you may do something off the charts and things could get into bad results and etc. But it only gets more dangerous. It gets a little bit struggling for Midoriya here on out. But not before we go to a scene where Chisaki is going to have Eri sit on a chair or something, which seems like to me, I'm not going to say it here, obviously, because it has not been shown, but he's pretty much saying, Eri, you are a crucial part of my plan, you know? And, of course, when it comes to Midoriya being in the school days, it looks like to me he's not in a concentrated moment or something like that. What I'm trying to say is, after all that's happened to him, from Night Eye to Eri-chan meeting Chisaki, he's not performing too well in his classes. Like, he's getting distracted, he's not doing well as he's supposed to. Like, for example, he was drowning when he was swimming in his hero costume and other things, you know? Funny stuff. But aside from that, we see to it that Midoriya decides to talk to All Might about the situation with him and Night Eye. And he ends up asking All Might to tell him everything, knowing not because he's a successor, but because like he, how am I supposed to say it? He wants to get rid of these nasty emotions inside him. We see to it that All Might decides to tell Izuku and warns him, "You better not regret this, okay?" He therefore tells Izuku that he did not want to take a sidekick in back then, but eventually Night Eye was his #1 fan and decides to take him in as a sidekick. He would later on be the brains of his strategies and operations, everything all together. But they had a fallout many years ago, which I'm trying to understand right now because, well, obviously it's easy to understand. So I don't even know why I said that. Stupid of me. We see to it that All Might tells Izuku that me and Night Eye had a major fallout because he ended up seeing a future where I will end up meeting my own demise or something, you know? And I remember reading this in a manga and I didn't pay too much attention to it, but not after seeing this animated, this was pretty scary. I mean, you know, Night Eye has the ability to see the foresight into the future, but sometimes there are some things that you try to avoid, but will still come true anyway. I mean, like, this is where they had a fallout. I mean, Night Eye tries to tell All Might, "You gotta retire right now. Only then will you be able to rest and you could be a legend, you know? And then we can find a new successor for you, no matter what. I promise you that." But All Might refuses to back down or retire because he has to continue his work and make sure things are gonna look good for other people. Even though if it's rough out there or something, they still want to make a good future, but All Might says, "No, I am not gonna back down or retire yet," you know? That kind of thing. But the day he met Izuku, or Deku, if anything, he ended up having to choose him as a successor. But this was before he met or knows about Mirio. He met Deku or Izuku and decides to pass on his power to him. And Night Eye was so furious he doesn't accept that. That is when I kind of might have this strict or somewhat of a dislike towards Izuku or Deku because he believes he's not really a good inheritor or he's not worthy of being inheritor for One for All, you know? Although it's still in the process of trying to make him try to prove him wrong. I mean, Deku has a long ways to try to prove him wrong or something, or maybe other things to come. But All Might told everything to Izuku about him and Night Eye and how Night Eye disapproves about him choosing Deku as a successor. But All Might still wants to go with that plan. And of course, when Izuku asked about All Might's death or demise, how far was the foresight of Night Eye's quirk? And we see to it that All Might says about 6 to 7 years in the future. The more you look far away, the more or less accurate it could be. And this could mean that All Might could die possibly this year in Hero Academia's timeline, or next year in the present of that. But Izuku tells All Might, "Please don't die, you know? I still haven't kept my promise to you, and I want to tell the whole world I'm here." Although All Might, on the other hand, decides to tell Izuku, he's been trying to struggle to live every day ever since he met Izuku, you know? I mean, that's when he decides to make sure he could twist fate or fight fate in a certain way. Because, you know, fate is a thing that we all can't avoid eventually. I mean, sometimes one's death could happen at a young age, one could happen at an old age, depending on what actions you take as a human being. But aside from that, we see to it that Izuku and All Might smile to make sure to twist and change fate altogether. And Izuku thinks we should use Night Eye uses foresight on you again to see if there's an outcome to change it. And All Might's like, "Hey man, this is not the time. Are you sure you want to do this?" And Izuku's like, yeah, we gotta do this, you know? Blah, blah, blah. So, it's a matter of life and death or something, you know? Funny stuff here and there. But, there's a post-credit scene which becomes very important because there was a scene before in the middle of the episode where Chisaki got a call from Shigaraki, and it picks up from that. There's a post-credit scene where Shigaraki ends up talking to Chisaki, and one of his henchmen's like, "Hey man, if you're serious on this, that you would actually join us, I have no problem. But depending on the conditions you said, right? So let's hear him out." And that tension of freaking like meeting or conditions, alliance, however you want to call it, begins. Preview next episode, we get to see Kirishima, or should I say red hair boy or something, in action for next episode. So yeah. Anyways, this episode was tense. I mean, like the scene with Chisaki, Eri, and Deku and Lemillion was actually well done. Not to mention the meeting, the revelation of All Might to Izuku, that was also well done. And yeah, I think they done well in terms of adaptation and everything else altogether. Looking forward to next episode, and hopefully they do a good job. So until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alphazito. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot!